Halpin. I'm an instructor for physical equilibrium. And today we're going to cover what we call strength basics. We're going to do some basic warm-ups that you can use really for any workout. And then we're going to cover lunges, back lunges, and push-ups. And I'm barefoot because I'm comfortable this way on a mat. You can do this in your sneakers if you need the grip, whatever kind of flooring you're on. So let's get started. We're going to go on the mat first, on your back. So I always start with core because we need that to make our workouts stronger and more stable. So just lying on your back, put your hands on your stomach. You're going to do some big breathing. When you breathe in, let your belly rise. And when you breathe out, let your belly fall. Let's do that like 3 more times. Big as you can. Big, long inhale. And then all the way out, long exhale. Even more air than you think you can blow out. 2 more. Big inhale. Exhale, notice your belly falling as you exhale. 1 more time, big inhale. Belly's rising. Exhale, belly's falling. We're going to take the legs into a tabletop position so they're about 90 degrees. Feel how your abs start to engage just by lifting your legs up, so they're helping you to hold up. Take 1 more inhale, let your belly rise. Exhale, make your abs tight and think about your belly going down toward the floor behind you. We're going to do toe taps. You can keep your hands here to monitor whether your belly's staying tight and in. So we're going to exhale as you tap and come back up. Exhale as you tap, other side, and come back up. So this is level 1, you might say. Real simple. Think about your lower back staying down toward the floor. It doesn't have to be like crunched toward the floor, but don't let your back arch off the floor. Exhale, tap, and up. Exhale, tap. Let's do 4 more, and then we're going to make it a little harder. Exhale, tap, and up. Exhale, tap. Think about blowing the air out from your stomach. And last time. Good. Come back to that tabletop. We're going to take your hands, stack your palms right on top of each other, and put them on, let's say, your left thigh. So we're going to tap just the right leg. And if you want it to be a little bit harder, you can stretch the leg out, or you can do the tapping that we just did. So you're putting pressure on the top of your thigh so that you're pushing your knee up into your hands and your hands down into your knee. Let's go. Exhale out. We'll do 8 of these. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Constant pressure into your hands. You can always do the toe tap. 5. Exhale. 6. I'm going to go back to straight leg. 7. 8. Come back to center. Bear with me. We're going to do the other side. You can switch your hands if you like. Switch your leg. We're just making sure that your abs are tight and braced. 8. Exhale. 7. 6. Exhale. 5. You can always go back to your toe down. 4. 3. 2. And last time, 1. Rest, go ahead and underneath your chest for a moment. Let's take 1 leg out so you can stretch the front of that thigh, hugging the other knee in. Take a breath. We'll switch sides. Stretch out this front of your hip and leg. Nice breath. And then both feet again flat on the floor. Make sure they're not too close to you like you might do in a yoga class, and not too far away from you, which would be really awkward for lifting your hips. So there's like a comfortable spot. Make sure your feet are pressed down into the floor, and then arms by your sides. We're going to do very simple hip bridge. So we went from your core, we're going to get into the glutes. So all you have to do is lift your butt up off the floor, squeeze it, and then drop straight down. We're not going to roll through the spine like you might do in a yoga class either. Just going to go straight up. Really simple. Feel that stretch on the front of your hips, and then drop down. Let's do 10 more from here. 10. Make sure your feet are pressed flat into the floor. Don't let your toes rock or lift. 8. Squeeze your butt. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Take a moment to rest. Let's lift your left knee into the air back to tabletop. Because we're going to do lunges, we're going to do single leg hip lift or hip bridge so that we can create some stability. So same exact thing 10 times. 10. Push hard through your heel. 9. Think of sending this knee up to the ceiling. 8. Push from here. 7. 6. You can exhale as you go up. 5. 4. Press down through your arms. 3. 2. And 1. Rest. Foot goes down. Right leg to the other side. Tabletop position. Press up. 10. This knee toward the ceiling. 9. 8. Press hard down through your left heel. 7. 6. 5. Press down through your arms. 4. Exhale. 3. And 2. And 1. Take a rest. Legs down. Go ahead and hug your knees into your chest for a moment. Stretch out your low back. Give your glutes a little rest. We're going to do one more side hip exercise before we get onto our hands and knees. So just roll onto your side. I personally find this the most comfortable, but you can also tuck your arm underneath your head this way. Make sure your shoulders are more or less stacked on top of each other. Your hips are more or less stacked. And my knees are just sort of tucked in about halfway. I'm going to take my top leg and reach it straight down. And then I'm going to flex my foot. And then I'm going to reach it down a little bit more like I'm trying to touch the wall down there. Turn your toe down toward the floor. So I'm internally rotating. I'm just going to tap the toe to the floor and lift up. I'm going to continually reach down that way like my leg could be longer. Tap and back up. You can feel on your hip the side glutes, glute medius, starting to fire up. 3. 4, don't let your hips move. Good balance, a little glass of water right here. 6, 7, 8, 9, let's go to 12, 10, 11, and 12. Good. Rest, we're just gonna go the other side. I'm gonna flip so that I can still see. Breathing through the warm-ups, just enough to make sure you're ready for leg work. So we're comfortable, shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked, knees are sort of halfway tucked in. Leg goes straight down, flex your foot, reach down longer like you could touch the wall down there, and turn your toe down toward the floor a little bit, pigeon toe. We're gonna tap the floor. Let's count down from 12, 11, 10, feel this side hip working, 9, 8, keeping your hips still, not lifting from the weights, we're lifting from the hip. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and rest. We're coming onto the hands and knees. So we're creating this tabletop position. We're going to come back to a little bit of core, but we're starting to incorporate your shoulders. So make sure that your wrists are below your shoulders, your knees are below your hips, and then you're going to pull the shoulders down away from your neck, and you're going to push yourself up away from the floor. So we don't want to just collapse and hang out in the shoulder joint. You want to hold yourself up. We're going to do opposite arm and leg lifts. Really simple, up and hold. Check in before you do anything that you're holding yourself up above the floor. We're just going to tap the floor and come back up for 10, 9, 8, 7, check in that you're lifting from your belly, 6, Chest is lifted. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Take a breath for a second. Reset. Pull your shoulders down away from your neck. Push yourself away from the floor. Other side goes up. Before we start our taps, just double check that your chest and your belly are lifted. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Check in your chest and your abs. 3, nice lift. 2, and 1. And then come on down, take a rest. Sit back for a moment, give your wrists a little roll out. We're gonna do another one from that position. So because we're gonna work on push-ups today, we wanna make sure that your shoulders are really well warmed up. So we're gonna do a little back exercise that will help for the internal shoulder muscles get fired up, which will make your push-ups better. So we're coming back. I'm gonna show you from my back side first so that you can see what's going on. So we're taking one hand behind your head. All I'm gonna do is drop my elbow toward my other elbow, and then I'm gonna lift up and think about lifting your chest to the side of the room. So I'm dropping down, and then I'm lifting up. It's right here where the work is being done. So you're pushing with this arm down into the floor in order to lift up. Drop down, and lift up. Let's call that 3. We'll go to 10, drop down, push, lift yourself up. 4. Push, up 5. Up 6. Check in that your shoulder's not up by your ear. Pull it down away from your ear. 2 more. Push, and push. Come on down. Shake that arm out, should be a little bit tired. Switching sides, check in that you're holding yourself up still. Hand behind your head, dropping elbow to elbow. And then lift your chest up toward the side of the room. 1. Pushing with your standing arm. 2. 3. Push. 4. Push. 5. Really hold yourself up, lift your chest. 6. Almost there. 7. 8. Last 2. And lift. 10. Good. Take a rest for a second. Again, pull your wrists out. Give it a little break. Coming back onto your hands just one more time. We're just gonna tuck your toes under. Lift your butt up in the air. It's okay if your legs don't straighten. Let's press one heel and the other heel. Get a little bit of a calf stretch and a little bit of a toe stretch. Let's do like 4 more of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to even out the feet. It's again okay if your knees are bent. They don't have to be perfectly straight in downward dog position. We're going to come forward into a plank. So we're continuing to warm up your core and your shoulders because, like I said, we're doing push-ups today. And then we're just going to go back to your down dog. This time we're just doing 5 of these. As you come forward, think about lifting your chest up as you flatten out your body. And then back. Lifting yourself up. You can use your exhale. Tummy in. And then back. And up. Chest lifted high. Holding yourself up away from the floor, not sagging down toward the floor. Let's do 1 more. And lift up. And then back. Go ahead and walk your feet up to your hands. Gently come up to standing, don't get dizzy. All right, so we're gonna get on to lunges and push-ups. So you should be feeling a little bit activated. That's the idea. So let's start with your back lunges. We're going to focus on one leg at a time instead of alternating. So we'll just pick a leg. I'm going to have my left leg forward. I'm going to step back with my right leg. Ultimately, so you can see what it's going to look like, it's more or less a kneeling position. It's almost 90 degrees everywhere. Almost. So what I like to do, because this is a single leg exercise, and oftentimes balance is the hard part of this. It's like, it feels like hard to get smoothly back. I like to make sure that you take a moment on one leg before you put your foot down in a hurry behind you. So I'm just gonna reach it, right? Do that a couple times. You put your arms forward like a tightrope rocker. I'm just gonna reach my foot back. So I know repetitively I'm on my left leg, my right leg is nothing to do. Then I'm gonna reach back a little further and place it down. And then come back up. I'm gonna do that a couple times. Take your time. Reach it, place it down behind you, and then come back up. So you should start to feel maybe your left leg is working a little bit harder. Reach, place it down. So there's a hesitant moment before you rely on your foot to save you. Now we're going to go down into your kneeling position. So you'll reach, foot, kneel. It's okay if you don't go all the way down to the floor. You don't need to. Reach, kneeling. We're watching that this front knee doesn't go forward too far, right? So we reach back, and then all you have to do is kneel. We're gonna do like 5 more on this side, and we keep count because we're learning where to put your body in this exercise. Reach back, kneeling. Try the last 3 with your arms reaching forward. So you're gonna reach back and kneeling. Notice that my torso is leaning forward slightly, and that is so my knee does not go forward. My head goes forward, but not my knee. Last one. Reach back, kneeling, and coming up. Makes sense? Let's try the other leg. Work yourself out. Again, just get a moment to find your balance on this one leg. Make sure your knees aren't locked straight. A little bit bent. Foot goes back. Right? And then we're going to reach it and then put it down behind you. I'm hesitating to put my foot down on the floor because I want this leg to know that it's in charge. Reach it back. And then let's go for the kneeling. Again, you don't have to get your knee all the way to the floor. Just reach. You can go down and come back up. Hesitate to put your foot down, and come back up. Let's do like 5 more like this. Reach, feel this hip, come back. Your head goes forward. And reach back. And down, and come back up. Reach. Good. Last one. Feel your butt. Sit back. And then come back up. Good. Lose my balance right on the last one. Let's transition into your push-ups, and then we're going to come back around for a set. Another set of lunges. So we can come back down to the floor for your push-ups. Before we do, just stand with your palms up, shoulders down and back. Just going to open out and then close. Shoulders down, open out. You could do this with a rubber band, so you have something to pull against. The idea is that we want to open the chest a little bit before we get into this closed off pushing position, right? Open. Let's do 2 more. Nice and open. Easy, easy. Feel your back. Engage from behind the shoulder blades. Okay, coming to the floor. Back on your knees. I'm going to take the hands a little bit wider than my body. So for me, probably just the edges of my mat. We're going to come into full plank first. Don't worry, you don't have to do your push-ups from your feet. We're going to do them from the knees to start. So hands are a little bit wider than your body. touches off the edges of this mat. I'm gonna step my feet into that plank that we already did. I'm gonna check that I'm really lifted through my stomach, core, and that my chest is forward over my hands, not back here, right? Dropping your knees to the floor. Keep your chest forward over your hands. Make sure you didn't stick your butt out when you dropped your knees. So my butt is still flat, more or less. We're gonna go a little bit of a push up and then come back up. So again, just like the lunge, you don't have to go low. Think about opening your chest and then pushing. Small little push up. If you're feeling strong, you can go a little bit lower. It's like your whole body would land on the floor in one piece. So we wouldn't drop through the hips or drop through the head. Everything goes in one piece. And back up. Let's do 3 more. Nothing crazy. When we get to our second set, we'll go a little harder. 2. You can exhale on the way up. 3. Take a moment. Shake your hands out. Work your way back to your feet. I promised you another set of lunges. So let's make them a little bit harder this time. And I would like to face forward for this set so that you can see the alignment of my legs. So I'm standing in front of my mat so that I can step over it to the back. And you can try that. It gives you knee padding if you need that. Make sure that when you step back, that you don't step across yourself. So that's what you can see from this angle. So we're gonna go for 10 straight through, and I said we're gonna make it harder. If you feel good, you can bring your knee up to the front each time. So just like we started before, lift your foot, reach back. Hesitate to put it down. That's 1. Lift up. You don't have to do the knee lift. Reach back. 2. Check in on this knee that it didn't go forward. 3. 4. Up. 5. You might be doing this with your foot on the floor. 6. Send your butt back, your chest forward. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Good. Stepping together. Reset your balance so you're on the other foot. Give it a little test. You can stand on that one leg. Same idea. Reaching back. Hesitate to put your foot down. And then just kneel. That's 10. Back. 9 is the harder version. 8. Make sure you can see that little bit of space between your legs. 7. 6. 5. 4. Feel like your butt went back and your chest went forward. That was 3. Up 2. And 1. We made it. 2 sets. I'm also going to do my push-up facing forward so you can see this alignment from the front. So, if you wanted to try it that way, you can put your mat underneath your knees, and then you can put your hands in front of your mat so that you're not fussing with the edge of that. So again, hands are a little wider than your body. We're going to start in full plank, just like we warmed up with. Make sure your chest is forward over your hands. Make sure your belly is lifted so we're not sagging. And then you can stay on your feet if you want to. I'm going to put my knees back down. I'm lifting my head a little bit so that my nose doesn't bob forward. You want your whole body going in one piece. You don't want your nose to go forward first. 2. Only as far as you can control, you know you can get back up. 3. We'll go to 10. 4. 5. Push, exhale as you push. 6. 7. 8. shoulders out. I'm not gonna make you do a third set right now. We're gonna take the arms forward and just open and stretch. You can do this up if that hurts your knees. Let's do it one more time. Open and stretch.